think I was 10 whenever, they kind of sat down with us and were like, we're not happy. We want to be happy, and we'd be happier apart than we are together. I guess I really dealt with the divorce with my eating disorder. I developed an eating disorder when I was 13. And at the time, it was because I got picked on at school because I was heavier. And at first, that's what it was. It was just it was a physical thing. For me, it was that I wanted to be prettier because all of the girls at my school, they looked a certain way, they were a certain size, and that's like what was important, that's what mattered, and I wasn't that, and I desperately longed to be that. The only time I talked to God was whenever I was going to bed for a prayer, and usually I was praying for something like, please help me on a test tomorrow, or please, make so-and-so like me, And I look back on it now and I realize I really treated God like he was a genie in like a bottle. When I wanted something is when I would rub the lamp and hopefully he'd grant a wish. I was asked like, do I believe in God? And I'm like, well, I believe in God. I don't get him. I don't understand him. He doesn't make a lot of sense to me, so I just would leave it at that. My uncle, who I had been really close to growing up, was really sick. He had been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes a few years back, and he had been on dialysis for almost 10 years, and he had been waiting for a kidney. And he refused to take a kidney from anybody in the family because he wanted to make sure we had ours. And so when the funeral happened and he did die, I really took it hard because I just couldn't understand it. And I just remember like curled up in this ball, crying, thinking like, what's wrong with you, God? Like, you took one of your own men. I basically denounced him. I wanted nothing to do with him. I hated him. I mean, I had sheer rage for him because I just couldn't imagine somebody who was so wonderful and so pure and loving could create and have all of these awful things in the world, and most of all take somebody I love the most away. I started drinking and smoking and partying a lot and just really living a life that had not a lot of meaning, not a lot of depth. I was really lost and didn't know what I was doing or where I was going and who I was. And at that exact same time that I was going through all this and I was in this really dark place, I kept having this yearning to know God. He kept coming in my mind and I had no idea why. And it was a real struggle for me because here's somebody who I had such frustration with, who I increasingly had no desire for, but at the same time, there was something inside me that kept saying, I want to know more, I need you more, and I have a desire more, and it just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So I was driving one day, and I was running some errands, and I was turning the wheel to make a turn, and as I was turning, I accidentally hit the tuning button on my steering wheel, and the radio station changed, and the song came on, and I had no idea what the song was, but it was the most beautiful song I'd ever heard, and I don't know if it was the woman's voice that was singing or the words, or a combination of both, but whatever it was, it literally made me stop. Like I had to pull the car over, and I started listening to the words, and I just started crying. Like I can't even describe, like words will never be able to describe the feelings I felt, that I was overwhelmed with like love and joy and happiness, and at the same time like sorrow and just remorse. And I don't know what that was, but it was amazing. And then when I heard the name of the song, it was Beautiful by Bethany Dillon. I called my friend, who I hadn't talked to since high school, and he was always really big in his faith and in church in high school, and I knew he was actually doing mission work. And he always works at these different, student camps during the summer. So I called him and I was like, I know I haven't talked to you in years. Forgive me for that, but I've got something going on. I can't figure it out, and you seem like the only person that can help me. And when I explained everything to him, he's like, that's God calling you home. And he's like, God makes us, to desire and want him and be with him. And you've just fallen off the path. You just got lost. He's like, and that's just God's way of saying, you need to come home. I miss you. I need you. I want you. And you need me and want me too. And you just have been blind and you just haven't been listening. So just come home. All you have to do is we'll just pray together, and you basically just say that you are ready to make that commitment, that you're ready to bring Christ in your life, that he's your one and only Savior, and that you love him, and that you will live a life following him. I tried so hard for so long to change myself physically and emotionally and mentally, and I try to change other people to be the way I wanted them to be, whether it was in my family or my relationships. And I've really learned within these last several months that people can't change people. God changes people. And God, changed me. I really thought that I could make myself beautiful. I could make myself beautiful by, making myself a certain weight, making myself a certain hair color, and all of these things like that. I thought I could affect that, and in the end, that's really not what it's about. I can't change me. I can only allow God in my life and allow Him to change me in my heart. If I can be something that God works through, if I can be a vessel, what more could you want in life?
Sometimes I wish I was someone other than